Anthony Hartwig here with a Howland girls basketball player profile. I am joined by Gia Hoso. Gia, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
This Howland season off to a fantastic start. Talking to a couple of your players and obviously Coach Pounds before the season already. This is a team that knew they were returning everybody. They had no seniors a year ago. Everyone's coming back. What was the feeling like getting ready for this season, knowing that you had all the experience in the world?
I mean, so our starting five, we grew up playing together, so we know how each other work, and I think this is a moment we've been waiting for a really long time. So it's just really good to finally be here, even though it's kind of hard to believe, but we have a lot of energy coming into this season. We're really excited to see what we can do.
Last year definitely had its ups and downs, but going through all that, did you kind of understand that like everything we go through this year, last year, it was going to be to help prepare you for this final go around?
Yes, I mean, yesterday, even Coach Pound said after our win that the difference, but if we would have played that game last year, we would have lost because that's the difference between juniors and seniors is knowing how to handle that kind of stress and that kind of pressure in game situations like that. So,
And like you said, you've been playing with these girls for such a long time. What's it like having this bond with these players and to be able to have that one last year with them?
I mean, it's honestly something I like don't even know how to put into words because they really have been my best friends since fourth grade, I think. So, it's really nice growing up with them and playing with each other. So, it's not only we're friends on the court, but also off the court. So it's a really good feeling to have that support system on and off the court.
Senior season means you have the chance to kind of reflect on your time and get kind of sentimental about Howland and the girls basketball program. What are some of the things that, when senior night comes up and you get really, reminiscent about your career that you're going to remember forever?
Um, Honestly, I can't just pick one. Like, there's a lot of games where I know I'll never forget. Like, we had the AAC championship 2 years ago against Canfield. That was a big one for me. And then we also just have the memories that I made with my team. Like, we do a lot of team bonding. We do me and my, even if it's just getting food after the games. Like, it's just gonna be everything's gonna be going through my head during senior night. So I don't
Has it hit you yet that it's your senior year and it's kind of your last go around? Has that
know.
kind of reality sunk in?
So last year it actually started hitting me a little too hard. I mean, I spent the last week of school. I was losing my mind. I was like, "There's no way this is real." But now it's just hard to believe, and I don't know. It's hard for them to be now announcing my name and telling them that I'm a senior, telling the audience. Just doesn't feel real.
You know yourself better than anyone. We talked about senior night and the things you're gonna think about. What are you gonna go through on senior night? What emotions are you gonna go through
Oh, I'm
that
gonna be an
night?
emotional train wreck. It is not gonna be too good.
You've been through a lot of other people's senior nights. Not last year because there were no seniors on the team, but it's still the
Hmm.
last 2 years before that. And one of the things about senior night is all the underclassmen, do something special for the seniors, get them gift bags, decorate the locker room, whatever it may be. For I'm trying to help out the underclassmen. Like, what is something that they could get Gia Hoso that would be a very special gift bag? What's going to go into this? Trying to help some people out here.
um, I don't really need anything. I think a team win on senior night would be nice, but that's about all I'm asking for.
Tried, underclassmen. Tried. That's right. You're gonna have to get creative. You can't bag a win, but a win will be really cool. But you can't put it in the
Yes.
gift bag. What
Yeah.
about like the snack bag? Let's talk snack bags, right? Because snack
Oh,
bags are a hallmark of road games. What's a good snack bag to Gia Hoso?
well, I'm more of a junk food type of person, so honestly, put any type of candy in there, any type of chips, and I'm fine. I'm not too picky when it comes to snack bags.
Do you have a favorite candy?
Um, I like my tropical Mike and Ike's.
Oh wait, that's a exotic answer. We haven't had it before. I love it. Well, you said chips. What kind of chip? What's the go to chips?
Um, Probably not the smartest idea before a game, but I like my salt and vinegar chips. I like my
Whatever works, whatever gets you to play well. I've seen
yeah.
girls that eat burritos before games, so
Oh, we'll have
what
that.
Whatever
So
gets you going, right?
yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about, on the court, things you worked on this year that you really wanted to improve on, things that you think that you've really kind of mastered this senior season.
I think as I was younger, I kind of depended on my points a little bit, and I think that as I got older, I started to realize that it's not just about how many points I have, it's about how I get my team involved and how I make my team look, because as a point guard, that's my job. I make the team look good. So that's kind of what I've been looking working on this year, and also my one-handed passes. I'm trying to master those and not do those as much, but baby steps.
You gotta walk before you can run sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When we talk to seniors, usually we ask them about the seniors that were, there in their junior year that taught them how to be a leader. But you were kind of the de facto senior last year as well as the
hmm
upperclassman on the team. What's it been like to kind of have that leadership role for 2 years now with you and your fellow seniors?
It's really important to me because as our freshman and sophomore year, we obviously had those type of role models and we looked up to them. So knowing that it's now my turn for the underclassmen to look up to me, it's special to me, and it feels good to know that there's people that look up to me.
How do you think your leadership has grown from last year where you had to be a leader to this year now you have to do it again as a senior?
I think a big part is when we get under stress, we just kind of break down. And I think being the person that lifts everybody up is just makes them feel good, but also me, because you can see how it affects them just bringing them up when they get down on themselves.
Let's talk about freshman and sophomore year. Who were some of those seniors? You had so many of them. Who were
Mm.
some of those people that really gave you the framework of what it meant to be a leader?
We had Kylie McLean, my freshman and sophomore year. I really looked up to her. She was a point guard. There's Maddie Mency as well. She was a senior my freshman year. And honestly, just seeing how they saw the court, how they worked with their friends on off and on the court, it meant a lot to have those people to look up to. And I think that's kind of how I became the person I am today on and off the court because of
We
them.
we asked how those seniors impacted you next year when we bring players on, and we asked how Gia Hoso impacted them as a teammate and what she taught them how to be a leader. What do you hope their answer to be? What would you hope you're leaving on this team?
I think that, I mean, there's been times where like the underclassmen, they're new to the program, they're new to high school basketball, so it gets frustrating. And I think that when they think of me, they know that I was there for them and I knew how to handle their situation, how to get them out of it, and be more positive about situations. So honestly, I hope that's what they take from everything I've tried teaching them and telling them about.
You're a role model. There's no way to get around it. Like you said earlier, these girls are looking up to you. There are girls that are younger than high school that are looking at you and these seniors and saying that they want to be where you are at. They want to be in your shoes when they grow up. What's that like to be a role model?
Well, when I was younger, I felt it. So it's just weird knowing that there's younger girls that are feeling it too. And I know how special it was to me growing up with that feeling and watching even my old JV coach, Sarah Price. I grew up watching her and I looked up to her because she was a really good basketball player. So knowing that there's girls younger in high school that are feeling the same way about me, it feels really good and it's really special to me.
Was there a moment in your career where like the fact that you're a role model really hit you in the face? Like maybe a girl came up and asked you for advice. Maybe it was something like that where it was like, wow, people are looking at me now all of a sudden.
Probably freshman Mia Thomas. Me and her, we're like the same person. So, I mean, I help her when she gets down on herself. I help her when, I'm her biggest fan. I'm there to support her no matter how she performs. And I think like she really looks up to me for doing that to her. Like I've called her and we've talked and like I get her through like those mind blocks, and sometimes I wish I had that when I was growing up. So I think her realizing that she has me, it feels special to both of us.
Brought up Coach Pounds a little bit ago. What's it been like to be under him now in his third year at Howland? You've been under him for that amount of time. What's it like to be coached by Coach Pounds?
Um, our relationship it gets stronger every year. So like we're his first 4-year group that he's ever coached as a head coach. So it's a special group for him, and he's definitely he's my favorite coach. So I mean, it means a lot that he's pushing us each day to get harder. He's makes us work and practice. Everything he does for us to better the team. So he definitely he definitely has the right intentions for us. So definitely means a lot.
We only get to see him on the sidelines. It's the only time we get to see him. So you get to see him a lot more than we do. What is something about Coach Pounds that maybe the general public doesn't know that you think they should?
Uh, definitely don't let his screaming intimidate you, because he definitely has the humor off the court. So I think that's why it's kind of hard sometimes for all of us to take him serious, but we're trying.
First impressions, like what were your first impressions of Coach Pounds when you first kind of got was it intimidating when he was screaming when you first met him?
Well, actually, the first time I met him, I hit him. It was the first practice, and I hit him in the face with the ball unintentionally, and I was like, "Oh my God, this cannot go any worse." It was my freshman year. I was so scared, and then the next day he's talking in a Donald Duck voice. I'm like, "All right, never mind. I'm not too scared anymore." So it was definitely a moment of relief.
Hit the coach in the face first day. It's a bold choice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the one part of the game that you think that Coach Pounds has helped you the most in. If you had to pinpoint one part of your basketball game that you attribute the most to him, what would it be?
Probably being more confident in everything I do. Like I get down on myself, he's the first person to pick me up. I miss a shot, he's the first person to tell me it was a good shot. So I think him being my biggest cheerleader and also only wanting what's best for me it helps a lot when my confidence level when I'm playing.
Even though we in the Howland community will hate to see you go, it's the reality. You have to graduate, which means we have to talk about your future, things that you want to do after you graduate high school. What's the future look like for you?
So as of now, I think I'm gonna go to Ohio University to study nursing.
What drew you to that career path that you wanted to be a nurse?
Well, I know that I want to help people, and I know that I've always been interested in the medical field. I mean, when I was younger, every little girl's dream was to be a marine biologist. I thought about that for a while, but now I'm just nursing and want to do my best to help people.
Now here's the big one. What drew you to Ohio University in Athens? I mean, so many schools to choose from, so many great nursing programs. What made Ohio a place that you wanted to go?
So it was actually between West Virginia University and Ohio University, and I toured Ohio University and I loved it. It wasn't too overwhelming. Like I want to go to a big school, but I didn't want too big. And West Virginia it was a little overwhelming. I can't lie.
Ohio is one of those schools where it's far enough that you're leaving the nest, but it's also not so far that you're so far away from home that you can't get home in a minute, if you need to. Was that a part of the decision too? Did you want to be like in that little middle ground where you're far enough where you feel like you're on your own, but you're also not like across the country?
I mean, I'm a little scared about the distance. I'm not gonna lie. I still depend on my mom to make me dinner and do my hair, so it's gonna be a change. So we'll see how it goes.
What's the one life skill you're gonna have to learn before you go to college? Like you don't know how to do it yet, you're gonna have to learn it.
Only one.
You can go to multiple.
Let's start with the laundry, my hair, makeup. It's just not looking too good. Hopefully my roommate knows how to do all that for me.
What's you brought up cook too. What's the one meal that you have to have your mom teach you how to cook before you go to college?
I think honestly, as long as she teaches me how to make butter noodles, I'm fine.
That is the classic, that's a college roommate dinner right there. Ramen noodles, butter noodles, whatever it may be.
Oh yeah.
Cheap. It's all good. What makes you the most nervous about this the whole college thing? Like, what are some things that you're feeling anxious about?
Honestly, I just feel like my humor. I feel like I have a little more maturing to do, but I'm excited.
Now let's flip that because we don't want to bring up all your anxieties without also bringing up the things that you're really excited about. Like what gets you really stoked about this next chapter of life?
Honestly, I think new beginnings, meeting new people, it's just a fresh start for everything. So I think change is sometimes good. So I'm excited to just see where everything takes me and see how everything plans out.
All right, Gia, before we let you go, we give every player the chance to shine a light on their support system, the people that have been there for them their entire lives. I want to give you the chance to do that. Take as much time as you want. Give shout outs to whoever you think deserves it.
I just want to say thank you to my parents. They've been supporting me since elementary school. They supported me in everything I do, and honestly, having a support system like that and them making me the not only the player I am today, but also the person I am today, it means a lot to me that I have that. And also, I have my brother, so having him support me and coming out to my games and cheering with his friends, that also means a lot. And it honestly sometimes dictates the difference between a win. So having that student section means a lot to me.
All right, Gia, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the senior season, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you again for having me.